Welcome to today's daily release. I'm Jackie.
And I'm Christina. Last week we worked on I can't say no without feeling guilty. And today we're tackling the fear underneath that guilt. Setting boundaries ruins relationships.
This is the belief that says if you set a boundary, people may leave. If you say what you need, people may reject you. If you stop being available 24/7, relationships may be over.
So you stay quiet, you stay available, you keep giving even when you're empty because your nervous system feels like boundaries equal the end of a relationship.
Right. Here's the truth. Boundaries don't ruin relationships. They actually create the safety and respect that real connection needs. Today, we're using the LifeSet framework to release that fear, understand what's happening in your nervous system, and rewire towards seeing boundaries as an act of love so you can restore your relational capacity.
All right. So what's happening in the nervous system when someone believes boundaries will end the relationship, destroy it, that we see that as a belief that usually gets wired through lived experiences. So maybe you had a parent or a caregiver who withdrew love when you asserted yourself, the silent treatment, anger, punishment, or maybe as an adult you set a boundary and someone left, ghosted you, or maybe made you feel like you were the problem for having needs.
So the nervous system learns boundaries equal abandonment.
Exactly. And neurologically, your amygdala, that's your threat detection system, starts to associate setting limits with survival threats. Because to a young nervous system, losing connection with your caregiver is literally a survival threat. You needed them to survive. So the brain learns, keep them happy, don't assert yourself. Their comfort is your safety.
And that pattern stays active into adulthood.
It really can. So even when you're no longer dependent on that person, even when you're safe, even when the relationship is different now, your amygdala still flags boundaries as dangerous. So even when you think about saying, I can't do that, or, oh, that doesn't work for me, your body may flood with anxiety.
Right. And from a naturopathic lens, that chronic anxiety has real physical consequences. When someone is constantly monitoring other people's reactions, constantly people-pleasing to avoid conflict, their nervous system never gets to rest. Their body stays in sympathetic activation, elevated cortisol, shallow breathing, digestive issues, muscle tension.
So it's not just relational, it's physiological?
Right, completely. And here's what I see a lot. People who can't set boundaries often struggle with chronic fatigue, gut issues, weakened immunity. The inability to set boundaries isn't just hard emotionally, it's draining you physically.
And the cost is that you may be abandoning yourself to keep the peace.
Right. So you become so focused on managing other people's reactions that you lose track of what you actually need, want, or feel.
All right, so let's move into the tapping. So we're going to guide you through this together. If you're new to EFT, just follow along. Tap where we tap and say the words out loud. We're going to start with a setup statement.
Right.
But first, let's do some discovery. I want you to do this too.
Yeah, pull up your worksheet.
That's right. So what people often, I feel, say with this situation is even though setting boundaries feels scary.
Yeah.
Or I've never done it before.
Yeah.
What do you hear, Jackie?
Well, it's the same thing. Does it feel right? I don't even know what a boundary is supposed to look like. I mean, if you've never really thought about boundaries, it's kind of hard to know. I mean, where do I end and other people begin?
Yeah.
So there can be a lot of just anxiety. What if I do it wrong?
Yeah.
And just, I'm not sure if I'm worth it. I'm doing fine.
Yeah.
Here we go again. It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine.
So I want you to do some discovery on your own and just play with it. And this is a daily release.
Right.
So I don't want you to pull up an event or a very big traumatic event or incident or just intensity.
Not even thinking about areas where you need a boundary right now.
Yeah.
It's just the idea of setting a boundary.
Yeah, because this is something that to really resolve, you go in the community.
Right.
If it took a decade to get it, it's going to take more than 5 minutes.
Yeah, and the daily release is about our attitudes and our feelings, not about events. So, I mean, there are better places to address this.
That's right. And that's one thing is, even if we just do 3 rounds, this has real effect on your body. This isn't just a fun mental exercise.
It taps right into the amygdala, reduces cortisol.
That's right.
It's you know what?
Hundreds of studies.
Even if you don't say anything and you just tap, tap and breathe. It's really, really good for you.
All right. So I think that we're good to go. How about we go with, even though setting boundaries feels scary,
I've never done it that before.
Way?
No. Oh, yeah. We had the same thought.
Yeah.
So I was going to say I have never done it before. What were you going to say?
I've never done it that way.
Well, let's go with that.
Okay.
Now, I like to end with I deeply and completely accept myself, because that's the guilt buster.
Yeah.
That's the shame buster.
Yeah. If that one feels a little too intense, you can say, right here, right now, I'm okay.
Right. Because you're not actually setting a boundary. So you're okay.
Yeah. Or you can say, I can see how I could see it that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or I deeply honor and respect myself.
That's right. There you go.
So find what works for you.
Right.
All right. So, and now we check our body. So before we did discovery on the statement, now we do discovery on ourselves. With your statement ready, I want you to just check in with yourself and see, is there intensity to this?
Right.
4 or below, you're good to go.
Yeah.
For a high 4 to 6, that's a yellow light. That's caution. So maybe do a round of breathing first.
Right.
And if it is 7 to 10, that is a red light.
Get in the community.
I invite you to set it aside, and you can still watch, but get in the community.
You tap. But just tap and breathe.
Yeah. Alrighty. So write that down and see how it changes. Let's get started.
All right.
Even though setting boundaries feels scary.
Setting boundaries feels scary.
I have never done it that way before.
I've never done it that way before.
I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though setting boundaries feels scary.
Setting boundaries feels scary.
I've never done it that way before.
I've never done it that way before.
I deeply
and
completely accept myself. Even though setting boundaries feels scary.
Setting boundaries feels scary.
I've never done it that way before.
I've never done it that way before.
I deeply
and
completely accept myself. Top of the head.
Setting boundaries feels scary. Setting boundaries feels scary.
Setting boundaries feels scary.
Setting boundaries feels scary.
Setting boundaries feels scary.
Setting boundaries feels scary.
Setting boundaries feels scary.
Setting boundaries feels scary.
Setting boundaries feels scary.
Setting boundaries feels scary.
Setting boundaries feels scary.
Setting boundaries feels scary.
Setting boundaries feels scary.
Setting boundaries feels scary.
And then under the arm, setting boundaries feels scary.
Setting boundaries feels scary. So this is the 1 round demo. So
write down how you feel. Is the intensity the same, lesser, or a little more intense?
Right. And you will continue.
Yeah. And you might reassess your statement and see if it changes. Maybe setting boundaries feels uncertain. Yeah. Maybe it's not setting boundaries. It's enforcing the boundaries.
Right. Yeah. So you're doing a little more discovery. Yeah. How is it showing up now? Yeah. And remember, we always do a 3-round.
That's right.
In the TDR. It's a 3-round
so
session.
I invite you to go on and do your next 2 rounds and let us know in the comments what shifted.
And hey, if you're great at boundaries, pop in there and let us know about that.
Leave an example.
Yeah. Show everybody.
Alrighty, so now let's go into explaining what we just did.
Yes.
So that was the release. You identified something of the stored fear or tension around boundaries, and then through tapping, you signaled your amygdala that it's safe to process this fear without going to full threat response.
So your nervous system just released its grip, the grip that's been holding around the belief that boundaries equal danger.
That's right. And then the next step in our life set framework is rewire. So this is where we give your brain new information that boundaries don't destroy connection. They help maintain and create it.
Exactly. In healthy relationships, when you set a boundary, you're teaching the other person how to treat you. They need to know. You need to tell them. So you're showing them what respect looks like for you.
That's right.
And people who truly care about you really want to know what you need and what your limits are.
That's right. So rewire is about updating neural pathways or making new neural pathways.
That's right.
The old pathway said boundaries equals danger, abandon, scary.
Right.
The new pathway could say boundaries equal honesty, sustainability, respect.
Right. And you build that new pathway through repetition. So every time you set a small boundary, start small.
Always start small.
Always start small. And the relationship survives or even strengthens. You're teaching your amygdala, I can have needs and still be loved.
Yeah. And this is what's really important with this rewire is just imagine you're on a hiking trail and you want to go to the top of the mountain and see the view. Yeah. And you're going to be going uphill and there might be foliage.
Right.
And so as you're making this new path, it's going to take time. And the other path that goes to the base of the mountain might have a lot of foot traffic. It might be very worn in. So as you are doing something new, understand you're doing something new. You're making a new path.
Right.
But over time, just by going again and again, you're rewiring that and it strengthens it.
Right. And there will be things, blessings on the way.
That's right.
Like look at the foliage.
Look at the leaves.
The small things that are coming up on that journey. Celebrate every positive.
Every milestone.
That's right.
Is still worthy of celebration.
Yep. Notice it.
Yeah. And name it.
Name it.
Okay, and then the third step is restore. So when you release the fear and then you rewire the belief, your nervous system can finally restore.
Right. So when you stop people pleasing and monitoring everybody else's emotions, your body gets to come down from hypervigilance.
Your cortisol levels normalize, your digestion improves, your sleep deepens, and your capacity returns.
That's right.
And this is why boundaries aren't selfish. They're restorative.
Exactly.
When you protect your energy, you're allowing your nervous system to restore its baseline capacity.
And when you're restored, you show up better in all your relationships.
That's right.
You have more patience, more presence, more genuine care, because you're not running on fumes anymore.
All right, here's your action steps for this week using the LifeSet framework. First, release. Notice one situation where you're afraid to set a boundary. Maybe it's with a friend who needs you, always needs you. Maybe it's with a friend who expects constant availability, or a family member who doesn't respect you or respect your time. But I also say consider this. Maybe the first boundaries you set are with the barista who hands you 2 napkins with your coffee.
Right.
When you just need 1 napkin.
See, that sounds small.
It sounds small. It sounds
but
silly.
It's a start. Because sometimes, if they give you something you don't really want or need, I feel bad. I'm not going to say I don't want to embarrass. And it's fine to say, oh, I just need 1. Thank you. Yeah. So that boundary doesn't have to be, only give me 1 napkin ever.
Yeah.
It's just, oh, no, thank you.
Oh, thank you, but no, thank you.
I just need 1.
And
have a great day.
Often I find when we start with things that are outside the immediate social circle,
right,
it's easier to practice and strengthen that pathway.
Right. And that's exactly what it does. You are creating a new pathway in neuroplasticity.
That's right. And so you're not going to set the big boundaries just yet. No. I just want you to notice the situation.
Right. Yeah. Notice where you feel nervous, where you feel fear, and use today's tapping to release that.
Yeah.
Now, you're teaching your nervous system, I can think about boundaries without going into panic.
That's right. So second, rewire. Once you've released some of that fear, try setting 1 small boundary like we talked about. Just, I can't talk right now, but I'll call you later. Or, hey, I need 10 minutes. Or, no, 1 napkin, please.
Right.
That doesn't work for me. Something so micro and something so low risk that anyone would be silly to get upset with you about it.
Right. And if they do, then that's just something that they get to own.
That's right.
And when you do it, pay attention to what happens. Did they leave or did they respect it? Did the relationship end or did it actually feel more honest? So that's evidence, and that rewires the pathway.
That's right. So finally, restore. After you set that boundary, notice what happens in your body. Does your breathing deepen? Does tension ease? Does something in you feel more solid, more grounded, more like yourself?
Now that's restore. That's your nervous system recognizing, I don't have to be everything to everyone.
That's right.
I can take up space. I can have limits, and I'm still safe.
That's right. And each time you practice this cycle, the release, rewire, restore, you're building capacity. You're becoming someone who can set boundaries without fear, who can be honest without fear, who can show up as yourself.
Right. And you're not selfish for having limits. You have limits. You're human. And honoring your humanity, it makes you a better partner, friend, parent, colleague.
Coffee shop patron?
Yeah, because you're not giving, from emptiness, from resentment, from stress.
That's right.
Yeah, you're giving from overflow.
Boundaries don't ruin relationships. They make real relationships possible. Release the fear, rewire the belief, and restore your capacity.
Yeah, thanks for being here.
Bye, everyone.